The views and opinions expressed on this station do not reflect the owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
Good morning.
Welcome to the Daily Hour, brought to you by Medical House and Lindo's. I'm Jamal Hartman, along with Carla Zool. Thanks for making us part of your daily routine. If you haven't already, share the link, start a watch party, retweet it, just get the conversation out there to your network. We have another good one for you today, as it's the final episode before Christmas. Shira Jato from One Communications is stopping by, and we're going to have a good old conversation. And if you aren't a One Communications client right now, you might be after this conversation. They are doing a lot of good things beyond what you can purchase from them. Also, it is the final daily play before the Christmas holiday. And so we're just, look, Carla's an intelligent work academy graduate, University of Georgia. And I call those institutions names because, when she don't do well, she's representing them folks, right? So the daily play, she already knows, or at least she should know, it's going to be a Christmas song that she has to guess today. All right. So
you know how I tanked last week and I went and listened to the song. I was like, oh, I do know that song. But let it be easy. Let it be Jingle Bells, at least. Silent Night, something.
Well, if you don't get today, I mean, you might as well call yourself Boris Johnson and cancel Christmas. I don't get it. But we have a lot to discuss before we bring Shira in. So stay tuned. Shira from One Communications joining us after the news break, but a lot to discuss. First, let me say this. Remember, we did the election night coverage, right? What was that? October 1st, right?
Yeah.
That was probably the least amount of sleep I had in between, like going to sleep and then waking up and doing the show. Well, last night, Carla, I know you all in the UK are like 12 hours ahead of us regular folk, right? Well, the NBA started. And so, I usually watch opening night. And last night, I caught myself trying to go to sleep, but I just could not finish watching the game. And I'm not even sure what time the game ended, but I was watching the Lakers game last night. I was just like, I have to go sleep. I've got to get up for the show. And remember that the morning after the election, I was telling you how I almost felt like I was going to faint when I was out on my jog. So I tested myself today. I said, you know what? I'm going to go for a walk. And I said, no, I'm not going to walk. I'm going to just do my jog and see how I feel. And I was fine. So I'm just wondering if laying down and watching basketball is an easier task than staying up and talking to people. What do you think?
That election, I had less sleep than you. I was exhausted, miserable, and everything else. So the Lakers game is like making a cherry pie.
Well, I mean,
we had to think during election night as well and analyze and give opinions. All you have to do basketball is sit back with your favorite non-alcoholic beverage and watch it and shout at the TV here and there.
Well, no, you make a valid point, because I think what helps with basketball, I don't have a team. I just love it. Like I love the sport. And the Lakers got the championship rings, which was pretty cool because they had their family members giving them the rings out. It was a different experience. And then they played in an empty arena. But I stayed up pretty late last night. I probably have a bag or two under my eyes. The next thing I wanted to touch on is you're probably going to have it in your newscast, right? But apparently there's a porn video that's going around and pictures, and I guess it's promotion that Bermuda didn't pay for that they're getting.
Well, as you know, I have shady people in my circle, so I receive the videos too. Um, it is what it. I mean, so many comments. What can I? Someone actually, as a joke, sent me the screenshot of the cover and said, "Oh, this is the new business venture you've been talking about."
Wow.
I'm like, "Yep, executive producer." But it was a pretty background. I don't know. Porn doesn't fascinate me like that. So it's just like, you're seeing one, you're seeing them all. Like, whatever.
Well, I mean, I'm personally is not my thing, but I just found it interesting that the responses when the police must have put out a press release, sorry. And I know you'll probably touch on it in your news, but the responses to that were people like, seriously, we're wasting our time on this. And then someone said the law is so old that I'm shocked it's still in existence. If they were consenting as adults, what's the issue? It was interesting. I'd like to hear the audience, what your thoughts are on it, because I did see someone say that this is all kinds of wrong. And for me, I think I second what you said, Carla. I'm of the opinion like it's not for me, but whatever. You know,
I had one issue with it, and I have an issue with this because I've noticed it in a porn or two that I've seen, right? It is what it is. The man, his face was pixelated, but the woman's wasn't. And so that as a female, I'm like, well, why is his identity being protected, but not hers? So that bothered me because, her face is out there objectifying her, but yet he could be an equal participant and he's being pixelated. And I find that, I've seen that before. So that was my only gripe with it, but they were consenting. She didn't look like she was having any problems.
I don't have a long history of that stuff to kind of know if men usually pixelated. But what I will say about this is that I could be wrong, but it looks like it was a promotion by the lady or whatever company she represents. And it was probably an agreement because Bermuda is a small place that the man's face be pixelated so that he won't be identified knowing, well, just look at the backlash that's happening right now and we don't even know who he is. So again, I've never seen something where like this is my first merry-go-round in terms of seeing someone. And I'll be very frank, I didn't go beyond the conversation. I just knew what was going to happen based on what was said in my group. And I was just like, what is this crap right here? And it's just to each their own, honestly, to each their own. It's definitely not my cup of, is it tea people say? Cup of tea.
Japanese tea?
Yeah.
Listen.
Let's go through some comments because we have a lot more to go through. Maria Seaman says, when abnormalities become normalized, female use and abuse said. Quentin Stovall says, we have real problems and this porn flicks, not one of them. Interesting. Elizabeth says, the blurring apparently is a Japanese thing. Okay, and Quentin seconds that. Got it. Interesting. That's something as well. Here we go.
And it was in Bermuda because I saw a little emblem of a place.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you all, because again, I didn't look at it in length to understand if it's really in Bermuda. You know the way technology works these days. I mean, it could have been anywhere. You can place people places, but if I'll take your word for it. But it says could be a new tourism market. Well, I mean, I think Bermuda can use all the help it can get as far as tourism, but there's got to be a balance, because I think it was Dr. Maria Seaman that said years ago, we can't, like, yes, we want tourism, we want dollars, but we can't give up the very values and the foundation of your society and your community just for $1. Like, you can't, and let me choose my words wisely, you can't prostitute yourself for every $1. No, that's not to say that Bermuda shouldn't do it. I'm just saying there's a thin line. There's a thin line. I'm going to take Dijon's word. Look, if there's anyone that's a pro at knowing whether someone is doing doctoring video, it would be the Bermeems brother. So.
I'm sure Dijon saw the picture too. You look close enough, you see where she was anyway.
There you go. And Kathy Bromby says, what happened to morality in our Constitution? And then Dr. Seaman says, this is what we want for tourism? Well, she's asking, is this what we want for tourism? So that's another thing. I wanted to switch over just real quickly, because there was some outrage from Bermudians last night after the press conference with the Minister of Health. And I think the Premier provided clarity today as it relates to the clarity. So I just want to touch on that real quickly and get the perspective of the audience. So basically, the Premier of Bermuda, David Burt, basically had put out a thread regarding the press conference, and the Minister of Health issued an apology for an incident that took place where some persons who had tested positive received an email that said they tested negative. This thread is to clarify what happened. But I want to go, he goes on to say, I want to make it clear that there was no error with any machinery or the process of testing. The testing process did not produce a false negative result where the person was positive. The testing process has been the same since April and has been working correctly. There was no glitch with any machine. The testing process worked as it should by identifying positive people from positive pools. Unfortunately, on these isolated occasions, persons received the wrong email. The cause of these incidents was human error on the part of Dr. Kariko Weldon. Dr. Weldon has taken full responsibility for these incidents and personally called each person who was affected. I'm going to stop there.
I have a problem with that.
I have a huge problem with that. And while I appreciate the transparency, I really do appreciate the transparency of the Bermuda government. I appreciate the transparency of the Premier David Burt. My issue is you can be transparent without throwing someone under the bus. Let me repeat. You can be transparent without throwing someone under the bus. And we can be grateful that we have the actual truth, but I just don't think that a person, any person, like them or not, deserve to be thrown under the bus the way I believe that Dr. Kariko Weldon was thrown under the bus. And that's just, I know it's the lowest form of human, value, but that's just my opinion.
I have a problem because, okay, it's been said that it was her fault. However, I'll use the hospital as an example. How many people have had mishaps at the hospital? The hospital doesn't name the CEO as it being responsible for what happened. It's the hospital as an entity. That is not the Dr. Kariko Weldon layup. Whether she made the mistake or not, the point is that an error was made by the layup, and we apologize, and this is how it was rectified. They could have even said, and Dr. Weldon called him personally, but to put it on her after all that she's done, I don't think the public benefited by having to know whose mistake it was. And let's not forget, she's done a lot for very little for a long time.
I want to go to this comment. This I love the way this is said, but it's very true. When one desires not to be blamed, you make sure to place it elsewhere. And I think this is important because, again, I go back to what I said. We have to appreciate the transparency for what it's worth. But it always seems, when it comes down to politics and government officials, there's one person who really stands up and says, I own it, we'll learn from it, and we move on. I'll leave that right there. I said this to someone this morning. Cowardly behavior to do that. And my hope is that she's in the right mental space and she has the right support around her to get through this. Talent TJ Clark said, didn't she make a public apology for the error? I don't know, Talent. I have not seen anything, but the Premier did mention that she did call the individuals. So
I would protect her. I would have protected her, especially during these times where this COVID, especially with this second outbreak in Bermuda, is becoming such a contentious situation between people. These are very stressful times. It almost vilifies her, whether it's willingly or not. And I just think it was a bad move to name her,
Indeed.
even if it was her error.
Dr. Seaman says Dr. Weldon has been held up as a hero. How quickly things can change. Well, see, Dr. Seaman, there's a lot that I say on this show, and people say, oh, I have it out against the government, or I have it out against the premier or the minister of health. No, I don't have it out against anyone. Actually, I would prefer not to talk about any of them because I want to focus on the positives on Bermuda and Bermudians. However, if no one else is going to be holding people accountable, then I feel like we have a responsibility to do that with this platform. That said, I would hope that when the next press conference comes, because we're not able to be there, we can actually have these conversations with the likes of the premier. Tamara Richardson says, is there a theme though? When things are good, claim it. When things go wrong, deflect, blame, and worse. Not a good look at all. At least allow the professional to clarify her own mistake. Indeed. And Sean Smith says Kim Wilson should have taken the hit or the premier as leaders. Well, that's what leaders do. The Minister of Health, Kim Wilson, or the Premier. That's what leaders do. So it's not personal. I think if you remove David Burt as Premier and Kim Wilson as the Minister of Health, any leader that was in that position, they probably did not do what's in the interest. And I like many people appreciate and value the work that everyone involved doing, including the Minister of Health. I said a couple of weeks ago, she's been going. But let's not forget, it's a choice to serve as a minister. It's a choice. And if the job becomes too much, everyone can walk away if they so choose to. But when the going gets tough, all of the plaudits that you received, you have to take those with you. And now you have to take the criticism. And it's, leaders are built not in how they do when everything's going well, but as I think Carla might have shared a quote, in terms of, when we're dealing with crisis, that's when leaders show up. So we need that kind of leadership throughout the country right now. And I just want to send a message to Dr. Karika Weldon. This is not even a personal message. It's more or less, you know what? You're doing a job. Every last person who is watching this show, a part of this show, has made human errors. I probably make one daily. Something might slip out of my mouth. I mean, it comes purposely. I know what I'm saying, but you get me. But honestly, please know that there are people there for you, and we're wishing you the best. Bounce back. And if there's anyone else that wants to reach out to us, she's on Twitter, Facebook, just show us some love, because there's times like this when we're down, when people, someone said to me the other day, Bermudians love a target. Let's not make her a target. Let's support her. She's not a politician. She's a worker on behalf of the people trying to help her country. On that note, I think I'm holding Carla up from getting to her news break, and something just tells me it's going to be something to not miss. After the news break, we'll have our guest for the day, Shira Jato from One Communications. They are doing so many awesome things right now, so looking forward to the conversation.
A cost-cutting policy that forced legal aid clients to use an in-house government lawyer rather than their own counsel is to be challenged in the Supreme Court, the Royal Gazette has revealed. The news came after Kathy Lynn Simmons, the Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, said earlier this month that the move, implemented in March 2019, slashed spending at the Legal Aid Office, which provides representation for people who cannot afford it. Mrs. Simmons said the office now employed in-house lawyers to take on cases rather than hiring private firms. But an application for a judicial review has been filed on behalf of one defendant in a criminal case who was refused a legal aid certificate for his lawyer of choice, and another is expected to be submitted this week. The litigants will argue that the money-saving policy breached a constitutional right to a lawyer of their choice. The Bermuda Police Service is aware of a video being circulated on social media depicting sexually explicit scenes, which appears to have been recorded on one of Bermuda's beaches, although this is yet to be confirmed. Section 197 of the Criminal Code Act 1907 states any person who willfully and without lawful excuse does any indecent act in any public place is guilty of a summary offense and is liable to imprisonment for 5 years. The matter is now under investigation by the Bermuda Police Service's Vulnerable Persons Unit. It's unclear when the video clip would have been recorded, and the Bermuda Police Service is asking that anyone with information pertaining to the video to please call 211 or the main police number 295-0011. Did you know that December 23rd is Roots Day? Many people are uninterested in where their ancestors come from until they start researching the topic deeper. And then suddenly it turns out that their family history was a long and fascinating one, and they become obsessed with finding out everything possible about where their forefathers came from. Maybe they're related to a famous person who made a significant discovery or took part in an important battle or another historical event. One of the most important aspects of Roots Day is that it falls directly before Christmas, thus illustrating the importance and meaning of family during these times especially. Roots Day has been celebrated by many for over 40 years. Turning to weather with a mix of sun and cloud, Bermuda will see a high today of 67. The temperature in Boston, Massachusetts will see a high of 35, and 44 will be the high today in Manchester, UK. On a programming note, make sure you tune in all day to the Full 100 on Christmas Day for some of your favorite holiday classics. And don't forget, next Wednesday, December 30th, we will be having our final episode of the Daily Hour for 2020 on YouTube only. So make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell. That's your Daily Hour news break.
I listened intently to your news break just now, and this is what I came away with. Did you say 1907, that law?
Section 197 of 1907. Did David? How many people would go to jail or face 5 years?
Look, regardless of how you feel about, public displays of affection to that level, we've got to revisit some of these laws, folks. 1907, really? Times have changed. We got to take a quick break. We'll be back with our guest for the day. 1907. I mean,
that could have been holding hands or kissing in 1907.
Yeah, 1907. Show me someone who's still alive from 1907, and let's see what they think of the law. We'll be right back.
Good day, Medical House Doris speaking. Can I help you?
Medical House is Bermuda's leading one-stop shop for healthcare. Bermuda's top doctors, dentists, care homes, and the hospital choose Medical House for a wide range of products.
Anything that we ask them to do, they come through.
These same professional quality products are available to you for home healthcare.
If we can use them, we definitely do so.
Medical House is best known for its uniforms and footwear. It also has restaurant uniforms that stand up to even the toughest shifts. If you're on your feet all day, Medical House has comfortable and stylish shoes that are also durable and easy to clean. Everyone needs some help cleaning up, and Medical House has got it. Leading-edge janitorial, facility, and maintenance supplies are all here. Medical House is on Millreach Lane in Pembroke, where there's private parking right outside the door. Call or visit Medical House today.
It will soon be Christmas, and we're busy preparing for the usual devotions to family, faith, and food against an eerie background of social distancing and preventative quarantine. They may make an entertaining theme in fiction, but pandemics are tragically unglamorous in reality, especially for those in the epicenter. We storm-tossed Bermudians have always had the powers of invention, stamina, and compassion that leap forward in order to make the best of any situation. And we think that's glad tidings for the spirit of Christmas 2020. Lindos, wishing you a safe and happy Christmas.
Welcome back to the big show. Carla Zool over there, Jamel Hartman. As old as Carla is, no, she was not born in 1907. I know you all were thinking it. Stop that. I know you all were thinking it. Anyway, Thanks again to Medical House and Lindo's, also Crimson Multimedia over there on Channel 82. If you have One Communications, you can also watch the show on Channel 82. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. And without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day, Shira from One Communications. Shira.
Good morning. How are you?
Okay. I don't know how to feel about laws. I mean, I'm just we learn something new every day on this show. You know, we learn something new every day. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. But no, thank you for joining us. And you all have been busy over there. You have been busy. I can't, you know, I go on the internet yesterday and I wasn't even looking for anything, and you were coming on, and I just jumped into a story about something One Communications is doing. But before we even get into that, it's been quite the year, a challenging year in so many respects. And you've had more people working from home, more people streaming, like doing new shows like this. And what has One been able to do to improve their services to meet the growing demands from those, for instance, just working from home or doing school from home?
Yeah, so there's been quite a few initiatives this year that have come out of COVID and people working from home, you know, people streaming. You have, I don't know how many people at home right now working from home, school from home, like you said, and just being at home and using more Netflix and, you know, watching more TV and streaming more, you know, all kinds of services. So one of the things we did, you know, obviously we invested more into our infrastructure. In terms of internet, earlier this year, we increased bandwidth. So, you know, same value, we gave people more bandwidth. So obviously they could use more internet, more of their internet to do all the things, again, the school, the work. And then again, later this year, on December 1st, we boosted everybody's data on their smartphones. So, you know, people went from 3 to 6 gigs. Some people went to 15 gigs. You know, to 60 gigs now. So we're really trying to help people out that are home just by giving them more value for the same price.
Let's talk about that, because I'm not going to put him on the spot and play it on the air, but I got a WhatsApp message from my father, a voice note, and he was extremely excited, like a kid in a candy store, that he was able to stream the Full 100 radio throughout the day in his car while he's at work. And he said, you know, yeah, One Communications, they updated our data and now I can do this and do that. Obviously, you like happy customers like that. 100%. So now you've given this gift. What kind of surprises, and I know if you can't say, what other surprises can people look forward to in the near future like that?
You know, we're constantly evolving and looking for new technology. You know, we like to be tech forward and tech savvy and bring the newest things. So I can't exactly say what those things are right now, but stay tuned because we have lots more coming. You know, we just want to ensure we have our customers year round that give to us, and we're just trying to give back and keep everyone happy and connected. So that's what we're here trying to do. But stay tuned.
I tried.
She's got those cards to her chest.
I tried, folks. I tried. All right.
That's my poker partner right there.
I give it all away.
Roaming has always been a major issue for Bermudians, and often if they dared to roam, they would have astronomical bills upon their return, regardless of who their provider was. Speak to us about how One's new roaming package helps to provide a better roaming experience as well as keeping the price down.
Well, I'm going to ask you a question. What's the first thing you do either before you get on that plane or when you land? What's the first thing you do with your phone?
Airplane mode?
It depends, you know. Outside of UK, yeah, airplane mode.
Yeah, so it's either airplane mode or you go right to that data roaming setting and you turn it off, right? Because you know that you're going to have no idea what that bill is going to look like when you get home. And we know that's been an issue. And of course, we were all sitting around dreaming of traveling and thinking, you know, what can we do here? And Carry On Roaming came out of that. And we're really excited about Carry On Roaming. What that is, and I'm sure you've seen some of the commercials, but basically, don't turn off your data roaming anymore. Take your phone out of airplane mode. When you land, you're going to get a text message as soon as your data connects. And it's going to say, you now have your Carry On Roaming pack. That roaming pack is good for 24 hours and you get 100 megs of data. Now, to put 100 megs of data into perspective, if you had 100 megs every day for the month, that's like having a 3 gig pack. So it's pretty much, you use your data as you would. You can take pictures, upload them to social media. We all know people like to show where they're traveling to. My big one is, we travel and we do all kinds of things and we get split up. So if I'm at the mall and all of a sudden my husband wants to go into a different store, I want to go into a different store. And then I find that I go, I'm running late. I want a little bit more time in this store. And then we get lost. And then I have to make the call and spend money. This way, you're connected. Send your pictures, stay in touch, make your dinner reservations, order your Uber, whatever it is you need to do. And that's $8 a day for 24 hours. So, you are in full control of your bill. And that's the beauty of this. The other thing is if you can get a text message. So let's say you have a busy day and you're going around and you're using maps and you're streaming all kinds of music or videos, you're watching the Daily Hour from your phone while you're traveling. You may get a text message to say that you're running low on data. At that point, you have 2 choices. One, you can buy another pack for $8. You get another 100 megs for 24 hours. Or you can buy our $60 pack. And that gives you a full week, 1,000 megs for the week. So, lots of choices, but the main thing is that you're in control.
So let me ask you this from the reverse, because I'm here in the UK and everywhere besides Bermuda is the only place where I can roam for nothing. Any thought into people that come from the UK or the States can roam in Bermuda by signing on to one in any way, like their service, it puts you on pearls?
Yeah, so it works a little bit differently because they're doing the billing on their end. So it's not something we have control of. They would have to get a SIM card and sign up with our service for the month. So yeah, it works a bit differently than that. So it's not something we can do at this point. But they could get a SIM card and sign up to our service and then they would have it, but they would have to sign up to the monthly service.
Thanks. I was just trying. I just thought maybe for $8 a day, coming the other way.
No,
One
totally.
communication. I'm going to keep asking, okay? I'm going to know what to do.
No problem.
One Communications has given a substantial amount towards supporting the economy and customers through a digital advent calendar. How did this come about, and why did one feel that it was necessary and important to do in the community?
So we know it's been a rough year for almost everybody. It's COVID has proven tough for everybody. We were sitting there and we know that we wanted to do something extra for our customers. We wanted to help support local businesses this year, charities. We've seen some charities have to close this year due to lack of funding. So we really wanted to help. And we were looking at doing an advent calendar for customers in store. And obviously that's not going to work during COVID. You don't want to have all these people in your store and lineups outside. So we decided to go digital. And with that, we were buying gift cards from local businesses, supporting our clients that support us year round. We worked with Brew, we worked with 4-Star, we did Spin to Wins, and we gave away, over 2,000 pizzas, almost 2,000 coffees and pastries. So that's, supporting those businesses. We gave gift cards to hotels, and then we gave bill credits and gift cards for our services for our clients. So we were really working hard to support the local businesses. We also teamed up with Amani's Cookies. He's wonderful. His cookies are amazing. If you haven't tried them, you have to. But we were giving cookies, we still are, to our customers, giving them an extra treat in store and curbside. But the initiative was really to give back to the local economy. We worked with some of our clients as well for a video to support the Shop Local initiative, because that's a huge one this year. And we encourage everybody. I know it's last minute, but there are definitely some last minute shoppers out there. So if you haven't finished your holiday shopping, definitely go out there. There's some great businesses and some great things to buy for gifting. So, that's what was on our minds. And I think we were able to give over $40,000 to local businesses with this Advent Calendar initiative. And we were overwhelmed with how many people engaged with the Advent Calendar daily. It was amazing.
I wanted to touch on what you said, because I'm in a group it's a Broward County business group, And what you just said, I had never heard of. It probably has been done in Bermuda before, but I was actually in the group last night, and someone had posted something about it was a local Caribbean restaurant in Broward County in Lauderhill area. And basically, I don't believe it was the actual restaurant. It was people who support it that were saying, they need support. They're about to close down. The pandemic has challenged them. What I read next was every bit of community that I really hope people understand what you just said. A competitive restaurant, like another Caribbean restaurant in the same area, stepped up and donated a chunk of money to this restaurant.
Wow.
I was like, and I sent it to my wife, but I haven't spoken to her about it. And I was just like, this is what, like I've been saying on this show, this is the year of collaboration. But truthfully, it's the year of collaboration and community. Because with what we've dealt with, it takes we always talk about it takes a village to raise children. It takes the community to really bounce back from these challenging times. And when you said just now that One Communications has worked with their clients, and we obviously played a spot on the Daily Hour. I think we had Jaleesa on there, and she was on the show last week. Ahmad's Cookies, and hopefully we can have him on one day as well.
That's great.
It's wonderful to see businesses collaborating and work together, and that's the way that our economy is gonna be able to help and sustain itself. So thank you for that. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, and even the charities as well. It's not always at the forefront of people's minds when they're gifting, but we worked with Big Brothers Big Sisters, WinReach, the Women's Society, all very important organizations. And now I'm leaving one out, and I do this every time.
It happens.
So apologies. But we worked with 4 different charities, and we actually had a game that people played, and it was a holiday themed game, and they would go in and play. And for every person, we gave $10 to these organizations, up to $2,000. So I think it's really important at this time to also think of the charities, if you can support them, because they're supporting Bermuda and the local community in all kinds of ways. So they're just as important at this time too.
Indeed.
It was the Women's Resource Center, because I remember that one touched my heart. That was the 4th one.
Yeah.
What new and exciting products can the island expect to see? I know you told Jamal no surprises. You wouldn't reveal any of your surprises, but living outside of Bermuda, I love how how you guys just keep it so innovative. And I think it's so exciting. Can you reveal anything or share anything that's exciting for 2021 that One will be offering?
So I'm going to have that poker face again, Carla.
I tried. I tried.
So I have to say, stay tuned again, but just know we have something big coming. Lots of big things coming. So stay tuned. But yeah, we just want to be innovative at all times, and we're always trying to bring the best and the newest to our customers to keep everyone connected, and that's the main thing. So stay tuned. I have to say that again. I'm sorry.
Hey, you tried, Carla. You tried.
You tried, babe. We tried.
But so Shira, before we let you go, I just want us to share with our audience that we want to thank you and One Communications. Obviously, we've had Frank Amaral, the CEO of One, was one of the first guests on this show, and really we highlighted and spoke about the importance of technology, because at that point a lot of people were starting to work from home, and we had a lot of this was new to people, not even just working from home, but the learning from home and what One was able to do. And this show was kind of born out of the pandemic, and people send us messages all the time, like, how are you able to get up so early and do this every day? And as you saw this morning, before you came on, there's always going to be a lot to discuss, a lot of opinions to share, a lot of information to discuss. So we are happy and proud to partner with you as of January 1st as a major sponsor of the Daily Hour. We are grateful for it, and we hope that we continue to provide quality conversations on behalf of all our partners and the audience. So we thank you for trusting our platform and coming on board.
Well, thank you. And we're super excited to work with you guys. I know it's something that came out of the pandemic, but I think there's a lot of amazing things that have come out of this pandemic. Obviously it's a horrible, horrible pandemic, but I think it's given entrepreneurs their time to do what they should be doing. And you guys have an amazing show here. I know it's grown and grown and grown, and I know it's only going to get bigger. So we are so excited to work with you.
Thank you. Let's go. We just have a few questions from the audience. Rosalind Famous is asking if One Communications has anything unlimited.
Unlimited in terms of phones. We go up to 60 gigs now. So I want to challenge you to use that 60 gigs. That is a lot of data. In my mind, it's unlimited. I can't get even to 10. So I guess we could go there. I don't challenge you to go over your bill, obviously within what your data allowance is, but that's a lot of data.
James Burt says, is the $8 per day worldwide?
So it is. There's over 300 countries where it's all $8 a day. There's a few countries that we don't have the greatest roaming agreements with. We're still working on that. So there's like a few countries that we don't have it. But everywhere else is $8 a day, and the data bucket will depend on where you are. Almost everywhere is 100 megs. So you can actually visit carryonroaming.bm, and it will outline all the countries that fall within that.
All righty. Is there anything that you want to speak to our audience, like say to them, offer them hope, or like get them hyped about some new services you don't want to tell us about before you leave?
You are still trying to.
Don't you know who he is by now?
Really, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for your support year round. Thank you for engaging in our advent calendar and helping us to help support local businesses. Thank you for shopping local. Thank you to our staff who are working so hard right now. We've been inundated. Everybody wants their new phone for Christmas. So thank you to you guys, because I don't know what we would do without you. So thank you for working so hard. And just thank you to Bermuda.
All right, sure. Thank you. We look forward to having you guys back often as a partner of this show. To you and your family, have a safe, everyone at One, have a safe, happy holiday, and looking forward to a great 2021.
Thanks so much. And next time I come, I'm sure I can share a new product.
All right. I promise we won't act in 5 different ways. All right.
I won't. I over here, but I won't. Have a great holiday.
You too. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much. Talk soon. All right. Shira Jato from One Communications. Always great speaking with the folks at One. We're going to take a break. We actually have to play the One Communications commercial. But before we take a break, I have a question. Carla, what did you say you liked that had raisins in it and everyone went crazy?
Oh, it was either 2 things: gingerbread and cornbread.
Cornbread, that's what it was. Okay, so here's my question to the audience and yourself.
Oh, we go from 1 to raisins.
Farine pie or cassava pie?
Cassava with chicken.
I should have asked Shira, whether she likes farine pie or cassava, and then asked her about the chicken. And the reason, I just think of there's pies as like cake, and I wouldn't eat chicken in my cake.
Oh, delicious. With chow chow. You know what chow chow is, right?
That's the yellow mustardy stuff.
Yes. Piccadilly. Oh, it's delicious.
So you favor cassava with chicken?
I favor cassava with chicken, but if I am somewhere and they have farine, I'll eat the farine, but I prefer cassava.
Okay, cassava with chicken. All right. Looks like we have Rosalind Famous likes cassava with chicken as well. Sean says both. Amanda Kelly says farine. Esther Earl Trott says chicken or farine. Or farine with chicken. Oh, she means cassava or farine with chicken. I'm like, okay.
I know.
That you got
the KFC otherwise.
Yeah. What happened to me as a child? Man, I mean, a lot of things, but they weren't bad. I didn't. Well, I was always a picky eater. I didn't eat a lot of stuff. I didn't come from a family of riches, but I didn't come from a family that forced me to eat what I didn't like either. And I think those are challenges that people have. Like some people, you'd be like, "What? I'm cooking it. You're eating it. We don't." No, I don't believe.
Yeah, I don't believe in that either.
If children don't want to eat stuff, then you shouldn't be forcing them to eat it. I know that, and I speak as a person where we didn't have much, but again, I
don't believe in that.
Yeah. Thanks again to Shara. Honestly, I want people to understand. I want to share this before we go to break and get into the daily play and so on. From May 4th to now, we've had a lot of conversations, and we have one more to go for 2020. But I'm so grateful to Medical House, Mickey Robinson at Medical House, and Tanae, I should say Minister Tanae Furbert, Zach Monners and Linda's, and obviously Frank Amaral, Brian, and Shara Jato at One Communications, as well as the Bermuda Economic Development Corporation with Jamila, Bermuda College with Dr. Dorinda Green and Chica Trott and Dwayne Richards and Teo Dill and Mrs. Evelyn James Barnett. Just so many people who have partnered with us and understood what we're trying to do, and it's helpful, and it's very helpful for this reason. When the pandemic happened, so many people went live and had conversations and started podcasts, and I give them major props, because if there's one thing any one of them can tell you is the amount of work that it takes to do one of these shows. And to do it every day is a challenge. You legit have to get up. You have to research. You can't just come here and speak off the cuff and just share an opinion. You have to understand and know what you're talking about. I mean, I couldn't go in depth about that conversation. I mean, Carla taught me something in the news. I'm still stuck on 1907, right? But we have to have these conversations that we do have, and understand that the need for what we're doing is there. And for other people to believe in what we're doing and have faith in what we're doing and to get behind us financially and support us, it's all because of every last one of you who continue to watch this show, listen to this show, support this show. So I just want you to understand how much you're valued and how much we're grateful to every last one of you, regardless of whether or not you eat farine pie and cassava pie with chicken or not. Regardless. So we're grateful. When we come back, we're going to give away some gifts to you all. Well, some people, not everybody. This ain't Oprah or Ellen DeGeneres, so we don't have it like that. It's not everybody gets a call. Everybody gets a gift certificate to People's or Linda. No, we're not. This ain't Oprah, right? Got to manage expectations, Carla. Got to manage expectations. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll close it out. We'll give away 2 prizes today. What was yesterday's question, Carla?
I'm in sleep since then, Jamal. I don't know. I can't remember. I know we have to give away the screenshot picture of the YouTube, but because we didn't do a prize for that, did we?
Oh, yesterday's question was Nurse of the Year. Who was the other nurse to on the show? All right, so we'll come back with those questions and some winners. Stick with us. I promise you, we'll be right back.
The halls with smartphone data, fa la 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 la. Spread your holiday cheer with Next One, fa la 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 la. Free devices, phones and TVs, fa la 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 la. Visit our website for more info, fa la 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 la.
Give some unexpected joy this season with free devices, plans that now include more data, and bundles for the whole family. Happy holidays from One Communications.
All right. You know what I appreciate about that one commercial is when Carla sings, folks, she thinks she sounds just like that, She really does. And I'm just like, man, I hope she's not in the background trying to sing that. Like, I could have done that. No. But look, my fancy bucks, right? My fancy box. Yep. Let's shake it. Let's shake it. Oh, let me just first see what we're giving away today. So the first one is going to be a $100 gift voucher to Medical House. So $100. All right, let's go in the box, Carla.
Okay.
All right, here's all the.
Ooh, she's viewing too right now. Marquita Lee.
Marquita Lee. So Marquita Lee gets a $100 gift voucher to
Medical House.
Medical House.
You're acting my age right now.
Yeah, look, you know, it's not easy, you know. Let me shake it up again. Let me shake it up again. See who gets the second prize. All righty. $50 to People's Pharmacy. $50 to People's Pharmacy. Here we go. $50 to People's Pharmacy.
Are you going to give the answer first?
The answer to what, Carl?
To who's... I don't... This isn't the prize for the answer to Nurse of the Year?
Oh, sorry. Janice Mullings. Janice Mullings was the answer for yesterday's question. All right. So let's see. Here we got. What's that say, Carla?
Oh, Wendy Parsons. Congrats, Wendy.
All right. Wendy Parsons, $50 to Peoples. All right. So let's get. So we have a question for today. We have a lot more to give away. And what we're going to do is I'm going to give you one question today that you can respond right here. Right? You can respond right in the comments. And the first person to respond will be the winner. All right? So here's today's question. The first person to respond correctly, I should say, will get a $25 voucher to Lindo's. All right. Question is, who was the first elected politician to appear on the Daily Hour?
I know.
Elected politician to appear on the Daily Hour. Answer right here on this show. The first elected politician to appear on the Daily Hour was who? First answer. Well, they're going slow, Carla. Are they?
I think I know the answer. I know the first answer that popped in my mind, but I won't give a clue. I'll wait till they get it right.
The first elected politician who appeared on they're probably going to Google. Famous was probably one of the last, actually. He was
Nope.
No one's got it. Wow.
Okay, so it is who I remember it being. All right.
I'm not even giving any hints. The first elected official to appear on the Daily Hour. It was not Michael Duncan. Never been on the show. It was not David Burt.
Nope.
It was not the premier. It was not Kenner. I mean, just keep in mind, we did not have politicians on this show when we first began. So it is, you really have to think about this. It was not.
I'll give an ambiguous hint. They like to smile.
It was not Ben Smith. I actually forgot we had Ben Smith one. There we go. Zane De Silva. Zane De Silva was the first elected official to appear on this show. And the show was right before Bermuda reopened the airport back in, was it June or July? July. So he was.
Jamal, I'm giggling. I'm giggling at the answers because people are clearly grasping at very thin straws. Look at some of the answers.
Oh, I've seen it.
You people, I love you.
Yeah, it's a lot of guessing going on. But Chris Famous was actually the last politician we had on, and then we haven't had Leo or Lawrence Scott or Jason Wade. Dr. Brown was on. Ben Smith was on. Craig Kenner has been on. No, Michael Dunkley has not been on. Dwayne was a good answer because I was wondering if someone was going to say Dwayne Robinson. Well, right. Dwayne Robinson wasn't elected. The question was who was an elected official, and he was not the first. So the answer is Zane De Silva. So we'll be in touch with Sean Smith. who I believe is over on the other side. So
Portugal.
Hey, look, guessing. Look, if anybody who has a little gambling knowledge knows that you need a bit of luck. Sometimes, look, what's that game my wife taught me how to play? Roulette. Just take a little guess what numbers you think are gonna come up. That's the luck of the draw. Kim Swan also has never been on this show, so now keep in mind we wouldn't mind having some of them, but definitely not all of them. I'll leave that to your imagination. So, Carla, it's time for the daily play. Well, let me write Sean Smith's name down. Oh my, what was that?
I'm practicing on warming up.
All
jingle bells, jingle bells. Look at Maria go now. She's so rude.
Well, I mean, with what you sound like, I think that's the rude part. But anyway, all right. Here's if she doesn't get this, folks, honestly, she should just take the rest of the year off. Quote, good tidings we bring to you and your kin.
We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Well, I don't even know what it's called. It's called Merry Christmas, right?
No, you just what it's called. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Oh. You lot don't understand. But I got it right, and that's all that matters.
Wow. Wow. Okay. No, yeah, probably. I mean, I'm not sure. That's probably what she had. I don't know. That's probably what she had.
But you know, you sing songs and you give it its own title because that's the easiest thing. I didn't know if that was the official name, but I got it right, and none of you are acknowledging that I got it right.
Well, because you weren't sure what the song was named, Carla. You knew the song. The purpose is you have to name the song, not sing it. You know, say it, don't sing it.
I turned it into my own thing.
Oh, right. You got any inspiration for us that doesn't involve you the wrong name of a song?
I just love my job. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Mark Twain.
Well, I'm not going to say anything on that. I've said enough on telling the truth and repeating what you said the previous time. But thanks for that. It helps establish a lot. Any final words, Carla?
Yes, I would like to take this opportunity to wish everyone a great holiday season. Be safe, be kind, and think about those who may not have people with them at Christmas or their families are separated. Give them a call, send them a message, check on your elderly. Have a very Merry Christmas and happy birthday to one of my best friends, Karima Sharif and Lowell Barnes tomorrow. Happy birthday, guys.
Happy birthday to you all. Carla, real quickly, if there were one thing that you wanted for Christmas or needed, realistically, what would it be?
For the world or just for me personally?
For you.
You know what, Jamal? I'm happy. I'm the happiest I'm been in a very long time. My daughter's in Bermuda. I'm here, so I would want my daughter to be here with me. But she's spending Christmas, in Bermuda. But I don't want anything else besides peace, and I have that, and I'm thankful.
So, what's his name?
Johnny and Naeem and Sakile.
Okay. All right. Look, on that note, honestly, I just want to again thank everyone, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart for the support that you've given us for this show. I don't even understand how some of you continue to listen to my diatribe daily and Carla getting these answers wrong, but we appreciate it, and we just want to keep improving. Jackie. We love the energy she brings, and she's getting better every episode we go, and you're going to be seeing a lot more of her in the new year. Thanks again to the sponsors. There's not enough words to say to the likes of Medical House, Lindo's, Bermuda College, Bermuda Economic Development Corporation, and now One Communications coming on board, People's Pharmacy, so many companies who continue to support us and what we're trying to do for Bermuda and Bermudians. And so thank you all have a Merry Christmas. We will be back next week, Wednesday, not on Facebook. We will be on YouTube and channel 82 only. That will be a closeout show. Like Cop Match, we'll be welcoming you into the studio. So don't be like Carla and I. Wash your face and look good. And come. We don't want any excuses, because Carla, they like to say, "Oh well, I'm not dressed." And no, you will be a part of our final.
Remember the big one? I haven't brushed my teeth yet.
Yeah, like
We're not gonna smell your breath,
right? So get ready. We're welcoming you into the studio. We will be on YouTube and channel 82 next week, and I cannot wait to hear the positives that you're taking from 2020 into 2021. On that note, we must say our farewells, at least for now. So we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine since May 4th. If all goes well, we'll be back to do one more episode for you in 2020. Merry Christmas, be safe, and eat less than I'm going to. Carla Zul, I'm Jamel Hart.
Southern chicken.
Yuck.